Alright guys, and welcome back to episode 67 of the Raid series. With this episode, I am going to go to labs. Pestily go labs! So, we'll have our guest speaker commentating over it with me as well. So hopefully that will be a bit of fun for you guys. Besides that, I just want to chuck together a loadout. So the premise of this loadout is really just going to be get enough items to survive labs, hopefully for a little bit. And we're not going to play super duper aggressive, but I want to try and play smart and tactical. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it will turn out to be a bit of fun, bit of good entertainment. If I get absolutely destroyed, I might try and do some sort of like 0 to hero-ish run, but not like a full 0 to hero. Maybe something that's like a middle tier gear. But this is pretty sweaty where I'm at right now. That's pretty much everything I need for a labs run. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So today I have Slushpuppy, a fellow Australian and good friend of mine from Twitch and Tarkov. So how you going, Slush?
Hey, good mate. How you going?
Good. So today I'm going labs, and it's a pretty brutal day. I'm not gonna lie, and but hopefully not too brutal on me. So you and I actually
I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing Pestily to go labs.
So you and I actually used to run into each other all the time on labs and a lot of the strange servers, because it used to be a lot quieter there. And I know you do a lot of lab runs, so it's good to get someone else's perspective. I've never actually had other people critique my raids before with me listening. I don't even know if other people have actually critiqued my raids before, but
it's an odd concept.
It is, but hopefully out there some people might learn some things, or at least have a bit of entertainment from it. So
yeah, definitely. I haven't read labs a lot this patch actually. I've steered away from it, but last patch pretty much all I ran non-stop.
I'm pretty much the same actually. I haven't really ran a lot of labs since getting to Europe. If I do, it's more like 0 to hero kind of stuff. I don't really enjoy going full sweaty into labs. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't really...
I think when there was a lot of worry about people using extracurricular programs on the game, and a lot of people, gamer chairs. People stopped the old Viagra gamers. People stopped going on it just because they were worried about it. But you can never really even tell. But you do when that feeling's in the back of your head, you can get a little bit salty playing the same labs for 8 hours a day. You know.
I also, in Australian servers, it was a little bit quieter. Like, you would only have, like, maybe a half-full server majority of the time. I know it's different now, but when I was over there, it was mostly before the drops. I could blow up as much, but I used to be able to make so much easy money in there, because you just kill, like, 2 or 3 other players and then just clean up the loot from there. So it's a bit different now,
100%.
being in Europe.
Yeah, it was pretty much just like you fight like the same like 4 or 5 sweaty guys, and then you just clean raiders.
Yep. Because we've got some good footage actually, you and me, with thick item cases.
Yeah, yeah. They were good raids.
So it was only about 20 seconds late, this spawn. So, and I don't normally go this way. I don't even know why I did this.
Yeah, I hate this push here just because of these tents. I always get shot through these tents no matter what I do. I don't know why. When people see me, they just unload through them and they always get lucky headshots on me.
I hate late spawning as well. It's another thing that just makes me fucking mad. I don't show it as often. Like, I can sit here and actually say it right now. I fucking hate late spawning.
Yeah, there's not many things that make me angry in the game, but when there's just like weird bugs with the game, like I don't mind dying to people. I care about the bugs that piss me off. That's I
was a little confused here of actually why this guy pushed out of there and went straight across. I was like, what's this guy doing? And then I would never want to be sitting in this location in general when I fight someone.
Nah, no way. This is
nowhere to retreat to.
Very.
But I did get
lucky he was just charging around.
Yeah. But, like, there was nowhere to retreat to there. Like, I would rather be in the doorway so that way I can either pull back and get to a different flank, or at least reposition.
Yeah, 100%. You get a lot of foot traffic through this area because there's people going to green and blue and black and stuff. It's not like if you sit inside those doors there, it's not the worst position in the world. Like people will call you a camper for it, but the people that run past are usually just like stims, keycards, lead X's.
Yeah. And I find that a lot of people like going in the basement these days, and they fight a lot more down in the basement. I think it's because there's less angles to get killed from.
It's definitely like if you go out in the open, I feel like you peek and you have to check 50 angles, and you can't even really see across the whole open area near the manager's office at all.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to spot like a tiny difference in black pixels across the map that is a shadow of a raider's head.
Now normally I would have gone out there, but the doorway was open. So I was like, fuck that.
I didn't even see that guy.
I know. What? So what actually happens here is it gives us an opportunity to talk. So my understanding with this one dude is he could see me, I couldn't see him because of the side of the PK06, and also you know how sometimes you can see someone better from one side than not the other?
Yeah.
So watch this.
Yep. Okay.
So it's one of those things where
What?
a lot of people think, fuck, that dude was cheating, but it's really just how Tarkov works sometimes. Sometimes you're overexposed more than the other person, and it's just fucking shit how that works.
I think if you're leaning from on your right side, like if you're leaning out to the right, you have a much better side angle.
Agreed. I actually totally agree with that. And also, I heard that noise. You hear that slight noise. That's why I stopped at the doorway and just waited. Because I actually thought he was on the other side of that doorway. So for me, it was like, I'll wait for the doorway to move, or I think I had the crosshair on the window. It was one of the two things. So for me, I was like, okay, he'll come up to the window, and I'll shoot from there, or I'll see him move past the window. But this
that's what I would have done. I would have seen it. I would have heard that, and I would have been like, okay, he's in the hallway. If he runs at me, I'm probably not going to be able to hit I'll judge my own skills here. I'm not going to hit him through the window, so I might as well just aim at the door. And then when he goes through the window, that'll be like my indication that I'm about to shoot, and then I'll shoot him when he comes into the open. But yeah, he was closer than you thought, so he didn't get the kill.
And it's like, and with the time to kill these days, so small. Like literally, like there's no time to react with that. Like he had the pre-fire, he knew I was in the doorway, and there's nothing you can do. Like I either had to be ready to from the peak where he did, or just not be there. Ultimately.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard part with the Val that makes it a difficult gun to fight against is that the time to kill is so low. Like I think it's like 0.2 of a second to kill someone. Even in a slick armor, if you shoot them in the chest with BP, only 0.2 of a second that you get. So you really have many options.
Now, personally, I used to love it when the buttons were always able to be pressed, because I would use raiders to find out where other players are. And I used to do this all the time. Nikita changed it because he believed it was all people would do was go to labs to farm the raiders to get XP and loot. And I do agree with it to some extent. But raiders, in my opinion, reduce the amount of rats on labs, because you would have so many raiders. 100%. They would actually actively walk around, and they know where people are. It's like how on factory, you know how when someone goes in with a hatchet or a pistol, they charge them down. It's the same there.
Yeah. I think I talked to you about this before, but like the stimulants for PvP, they are what I like. And at the moment in this game, the main stimulants for PvP are the static loot spawns, and then the raiders and the scavs. And if there's not enough scavs on a map, the PvP just becomes so dry because no one knows where everyone is until they just shoot at each other. You know,
I kind of agree with that, and that's where kind of labs sits with me sometimes when it's like, I go to both buttons. I had an instance of that today where I went to both buttons and there wasn't none of them were active. So I couldn't draw raiders out, and I was just like, oh shit, where are the players hiding now? You know, and you spend the next 5 minutes creeping around trying to,
I do this as well, where when they spawn down here, I just take more and more minute angles trying to get a headshot on the raiders.
Yeah. Now I hear that footsteps in the door on the wood there. And I was like, all right, so there's definitely someone over there. I believe it's a player. It could be a raider, but someone in there.
Right now, what I would have done there is try and bait him out. If I thought it was a player, was run at him, pretend I didn't know, and sort of run like half up, and then the second I hear a footstep, just lay down and then scope in. Try and bait him out to push into my laying down scope.
It's because I knew there was still this raider on the left that I wanted to fuck him off.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would have gone to the door then. But... aim punch. Yeah, otherwise I would have gone to the door there, and that would have been my normal play. So I would have done something very similar. I probably wouldn't have gone prone. I would have gone up to the doors. I probably would have opened the right-hand side. If I thought he was upstairs, I would have just opened the right-hand side and quickly peeked the staircase, and that was it. But if I thought he might have been downstairs, I sometimes open the door and jump past it quickly and open up the other one as well. To give him some sort of 50-50 chance he'll look at the wrong way.
Yeah, go try and mind game them out. These are the angles that I really hate pushing on this map, like when they're standing up like outside server and stuff like that. Because if you try and pick out there, you have like 500 angles that you have to defend from.
And one raider just instant taps you, and you're like, what the fuck are you meant to do there?
You're coming out of one door as well that you've just made shitloads of noise at. So I try to never go out of these doors. Like I just try to circle around the outskirts of the map.
Yeah, which is pretty much what I do as well. I'm literally only waiting here because it sounds like it's on the ground floor. It sounds like it's on ground floor. No point. But they could be up the top as well because it's just how Tarkov audio works. And for me, I was like, well, I heard that. but I was just trying to see if I can get just a glimpse of where they are. More information than to actually attack them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, sweet. Here's a fucking raider. I mean, this raider be a raider? Hey, and this is, I actually think I said before, this is something I would never do.
Yeah.
Vulnerable here.
Yeah, there you go. Vulnerable here.
It's hard to me get out of the mindset of not commentating my raid as well. Like, because this is the raid series, I always commentate what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird to not talk about gameplay when you're watching it now, being a content creator. Like it's just your natural reaction to just start talking about it.
I had a really good raid today with the P90, because it comes with the 190 ammo. It's actually decimates.
Oh, dude, you should try it with the R37 ammo. The R37 ammo is just as good as the 9mm rip ammo, except it's like 1/5 of the cost.
So this shits me here. You're about to see why. So like, the door got open and the player ran back upstairs. I'm confident it was a player. But the fucking raider that was like walking off and on the metal decided to come back when I went to go inside. So I don't know where the raider was. You do see me do a slight glimpse to the left, but this is where it's like RNG gods just fuck you over.
Yeah, sometimes you just have a day where just like the timings are off. Like you can't really know. I actually had one of these days yesterday. Like it was just every time you do anything, you die. Like you start running just as people peak. Yeah, like you do that kind of stuff, and you can't really do much about that. Like
rookie errors. I actually can't believe I made that mistake. So like to me, as I was walking up, I looked to the left. There was no one there. As I was walking up, I was actually looking at the top left of the screen. On the guy on the fucking open the door, but and you could normally they would push out. Like nearly every time they open that door, they push out. So yeah, there's normally a guy up on that platform, and you would be able to see him as you push up. But I was just watching out like the side of my eyes and looking up to that side of the monitor. Okay, and then it's like, yep, he's not there. I can safely push into the like I don't want to inside.
Yeah, unless he was like caught on the, so like two of them walked out onto there, and he was just like caught like right near the entrance to the button shed thing. Sometimes they just like, I don't know, I swear the raiders just like get to a point and then they just like like error, and then just like stop moving, and then just sit in like really weird positions because they just get caught on some random crap, and then they're just like, "Why are you camping there?"
But yeah, and this is like, I don't feel like I'm doing massive mistakes here, but these little mistakes cost you. It's just how Tarkov works. And I can understand how so many people would get really disheartened playing Tarkov when these things happen.
Oh, 100%. But like when you're doing, if you're not confident in your decisions, like just saying I would have done exactly the same thing, and then if I died, I would have just been like, like if you're not confident in it, then you could probably be like, why am I so shit at this game? Or like, why does this game hate me so much? Why is it so random? When at the end of the day, like it's just random chance. There's nothing you can do about it.
And the amount of times I've experienced situations like that,
fair bit of kick on it.
It's super common. It's not like that happens once a month. Like I have days like this where I go to labs a dozen times and I won't survive a single raid because it's just not your day.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, like I was saying, I got smashed yesterday. I could not. Every time I pushed, I would open a door, hold the angle, and wait for a few seconds, get ready to push, hear no noise, and then just as I'd start to take off to run, someone would peek me and just headshot me. And I was like, okay, fair enough. That was just my entire day yesterday. Just my face shield had magnets in it, and you do just have days like that. Like even the best players in the world have that stuff. I'm not saying I'm the best player in the world.
You are.
Most people would say I suck, but you just can't get lucky every day.
Oh, just came up behind me. Radar. Oh, recall.
I really worry about peeking that angle because of the people that just lay down on that one.
The only reason I pushed that out like that was because the actual I knew it was a raider just from the noise of just them walking.
Yeah, they would have.
Players wouldn't.
Yeah, they would have shot. Yeah, we could tell. You can usually tell the difference between the players and the scabs just by the speed they walk.
And like those shots, you can tell. Like I could tell that's like back a cafe or what's it called, freezer room.
Yeah.
But this part
almost got legs, mate.
Well, this part is where I actually feel fairly confident. When the raiders are starting to spawn and come around this area, I usually feel fairly confident. But where? So I stop like this and I'm listening for a footstep, a noise, like that. Like that's giving me information of what's going down, where people are, what are they doing, what guns they're shooting.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it. That's just get them to engage in some kind of combat so you can, if they're like a 4 or 5 man team sitting over there and you're like, okay, we're gonna have to take this real careful.
What? Did you see where he was?
No, I didn't.
So he was in that the middle glass area that overlooks all the cars and all that between the two officers. He was up there. I didn't even know where he was. I was like, where the fuck was he? Because I was going back and forth. You hear him do his audio command, and that should have been the telltale sign. Anytime a raider yells their audio command, you know that's and he's right there.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, they suck when they're up there.
I heard guys to the left, and then they got shot from MP5 from the other side. So to me,
no idea what's going on.
I'm not used to so many raiders being in that area without.
I can't get a rhythm.
The parking lot button being pressed. Normally, the parking lot button gets pressed, then all those raiders come over there. All right, fourth time's a charm. I
think the way they spawn have changed now, like, because when you hit the button, it seems to be that if you hit the button and then stay around the area, they just seem to spawn somewhere else randomly on the map.
Agreed.
And so they're like, they don't just like mob onto you, so you can't just like pound the elevators and then sit in front of the elevators and farm gear. I
actually had a guide. It was on my to-do list, and it was killing raiders from their spawns. You press a button and where to go. But now it actually does feel a lot more random, and that's the reason why I haven't made the video. Because when I farmed to level 70, I think it was last wipe or the wipe before, and I just farmed labs over and over again. I got the rhythm of every single time you press a button where the half a dozen spawns would be. I'm like, sweet, I can make a video on this now. And then it changed.
Well, I remember watching it. You used to be able to just lay down in front of the garage door
Yep.
And just spray them as they came out.
You get 4 that way, and then they come through the corridor as you turn around. It would be to the right as you turn around, back as you're looking towards the offices. A couple would come through that door, and then you would see them coming across that top walkway bit. And I would just I would get 10 raiders in 3 to 4 minutes, 20,000 XP, and I'd leave the raid.
Yeah,
that's when they could have
changed. So I reckon those ones came from they were over near the garage, and they were trying to push the people inside the kitchen, and then the people inside the kitchen maybe like killed one or something like that over there, and then they were just circling around the cat.
Oh, space.
And then it ended up on top of you by accident. Which goes to show how good they are at clearing out, well, you say rats, but like you weren't ratting, but goes to show how good they are at clearing out unprepared players.
And that's where BSG should really, to make labs great again, I guess, is to make it so raiders just periodically spawn without buttons being pressed at all.
Yeah.
And early on too. I actually think labs would be really cool if it just had one, you know, the cat statue, the giant cat statues, have like 2 raiders spawn there at the very start of the raid, and 2 outside the management office in the 2nd floor or some shit.
Yeah. I think that would really help just for the people, just for the hatchet runners. Like,
and sure, we wouldn't put that much stress on it, you know what I mean? And you'd know if people were running out into the middle and trying to control the middle. It would give indication of what people were doing early on. It would technically slow down the start, but would also just control the mad sprint to the LEDX spawns.
Yeah. Well, that's how Labs is though. Like at the moment, like Labs is like or you can eat Pizza Hut, and they put down the best pizza in the house, and every fat person in there runs to try and get a slice simultaneously. And then the second it's all gone, they're just like, yep, and then they just run away back to their tables, waiting for the next one. You know, like it's a mad dash.
Unfortunately, the more I play Zero to Heroes on Labs, the more I find it the way to play Labs. I know it sounds stupid, but go into Labs, press a button, get some raiders to spawn, kill the raiders, take their gear, because the gear is good enough to use as just your own.
Yep.
And then I just like taking a 5.7 or a PP 19, and you're sweet from that point onwards.
Yeah, I see so many people running, even running like a meta M4 with 100 round mag in it with no armor, and they just run around until they headshot a raider, and then they get free armor, and they already have a dope gun, and then they just load it with M4 mags from other raiders. So it's a perfectly valid strategy for making money.
Oh, I agree.
Probably more valid than taking your own armor.
With armor, it's expensive as it's going to be at the start of next swap too. Like,
yep.
As long as you get through
it's heavy.
Yeah, as long as you get through the first chaotic like part of the labs raid, and you can actually get to killing a raider, you'd be almost stupid not to play it that style.
I mean, like if you're a good enough player, the chances of you surviving a raid naked are almost even as surviving it with armor on. As long as you don't run into like a big team where you have to sort of like have a concerted fight for like a good 2 minutes, then you should be fine.
This is me going back into listening to audios. So the wood there is like, you know, they're coming around from the right hand side. So those grenades are obviously the hallway across from me.
That hallway.
Yeah. That's sort of the playstyle that I like to do as well. Like you push really hard when you know the person's location, but when you don't, just like slow right down until you have sort of a pinpoint location. But once you get an inkling of their situation, just like charge at them.
Yeah, that's pretty much me to a T. So my strategy here is they're coming up that hallway. They were clearing it with grenades, which is a smart strategy, particularly if you're going there. And I didn't want to engage this raider. I wanted him to open the door and go in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have shot that either. Just trying to wait.
Because he would normally just walk up to the door and open it. Because I aimed on him. So anyone out there that doesn't know, if you aim at a raider, they actually turn and shoot you. There's a really funny clip of Deadly Slob aiming at a guy with it, like, I can't remember what he was using, SV9A. He goes, I've got this scav. And the scav turns around and just shoots him in the face with the tods from like from the ice cream hut. It's like 70-meter tods to the face, and I was just like, But that's exactly what happened there. Because I looked at the radar, he turned and shot me. So it has to be. There's definitely grenades thrown in that room. They were pushing up the corridor.
We've got that ADS ESP, man.
My bet is they're probably waiting because I shot at the door and the raider was there. They're waiting for someone to push over to there.
And chances are at this stage, like when it comes to S-band, most people just hunker down in there and chill.
Yep.
Just because the angles to push across it are so hard. Like you have to push across the open main lobby, which has like 50 angles, and from Arsenal.
I did not commentate.
And then pushing across from here as well, which is full of raiders. Like it's a difficult push.
I would do as well if I was them is I would have someone prone watching out and then the other person open the door.
Yeah, that's what I do as well. Yeah, that can backfire on you though if you if you accidentally open the door. Sometimes people can see like your foot and will just unload on your foot and you can't see them. Ooh, he was unlucky.
Yeah. He was here in that raided that was to my to the middle of the map, I guess.
Yeah. Who closed that door? Did he close that door?
It's still open, isn't it?
No, he ran through and they were both open, I think. And then one of them got closed. There we go.
Player.
How he's trying to do it.
I knew they were waiting for it. They were waiting for something.
Yeah, I would have checked that door before looting this, just to double check, but...
There's a reason, and for me, this is all about speed right here. I know I'm looting really slow, but I actually know that they're in that room, and I want to try and... like, because now I've got knowledge, I know where they are. And so I want to kill them. What I'm actually looking for here is grenades.
Yeah, yep.
I didn't care about anything but grenades right there. You're going to know why in a minute. Well, it's pretty obvious. I like to grenade down anything that I push to get them out of position.
Exactly.
Grenades is the best utility in this game, and it's...
Yeah.
To be honest, actually, I haven't seen any fog grenades recently.
Yeah, they're getting so expensive.
Why?
I call them vibe checking before I push a room. I always vibe check rooms.
What do you mean, vibe check?
Yeah, you gotta check the vibe of the room, mate.
Oh,
with a grenade.
Yeah. We actually did this exact same play the other day and it worked perfect.
Good nade.
Unfortunately though, enough grenades to push this really. I didn't have enough grenades. I don't have enough grenades. And
yeah.
I was trying to think of like what's my options here. Do I loot and try and get a grenade? Or like which means I have to run back to the other side to go get grenades.
Yeah. Oh god, there's so many of them in there. Yeah, now you're having 100% like standard battle with them. So yeah.
So like I knew there'd be one at the end of the hallway and I nearly perfectly pre-fire it, but I almost feel like either ricochet his helmet or go left or right of his head. I haven't actually seen this in slow motion or in I think my cousin, when he does the edit, he pauses it so I can see, but I must have been close to tapping him in the head.
Yeah. Or that, or I don't know what it is lately. I found like the helmets seem to ricochet a lot more lately. Like I've noticed like I shot a guy in the Kiva with 995 the other day and it ricocheted a 995 round. I don't know what's going on with it. But Ricochet seems to be ricocheting a lot lately.
I still think it's just a duo, but yeah. I'm actually interested to see what's going to come up here. Maybe he does it in slow motion. Oh, I hit him in the head. It is what it is. I don't know how I didn't hit him in the head then. It could have been the 90 ping that I had. You know, which isn't a lot, but no matter what. He might have instant tapped me.
Both with vowels.
Hit him. That sucks.
with the time to kill so low at the moment, I feel like it's hard to like call it. Like sometimes you hit someone and it just won't even count. Like I had a death the other day. I'm sorry, actually, no, I got a kill the other day on another Australian streamer. I peeked and I headshot him instantly, and I killed him with my first shot. He didn't hit me at all, according to my game. Then when he replayed it on his stream, he ricocheted an M61 off my helmet. And so we went back and looked at it, and there's this massive spark flying off my helmet. And so I was like, okay, on his end, he hit me. No damage, nothing on my end. It just didn't count. You just didn't get that one.
And this is where, like, the game can be amazingly frustrating for people because of these scenarios where, like, I felt like I did, like, that was a shitty situation because I wanted to push that because I knew where they were. I felt like I could shoot them, but in all seriousness, I should have had a grenade to just get their head back that little bit. Because what I would normally do is I'd throw the nade without exposing myself. I would wait until the nade explodes. As the nade explodes, I would peek the corner and have my crosshair ready for them to reposition their head. And with ready to shoot exactly the same as I did then. But that little bit of a fear that the nade would kill them, that would be enough to get them out of position. Sort of 0 to hero.
Yeah, exactly. And the grenades at the moment kick up a lot of dust. They changed the like the particle effect on it, so it actually like an F1 blocks your vision now as well.
I don't know what it is. Unfortunately, it's just MP9 time. It is what it is, man. I called that play perfectly last time. Just saying. I would have loved to be able to throw a grenade to at least put his head behind a wall first before I peeked it, but I was just dealing with the cards. Like I like playing my aggressive playstyle. I shouldn't really be doing it when I'm trying to teach people, and this is how I enjoy playing the game. So I should really make that a point here. I enjoy playing aggressive. This is ridiculous. I lose a lot of fights like that. Actually, I don't lose a lot of fights like that, but I do lose fights because of that aggressive playstyle. But I should emphasize that you should play however you find fun. One of two things are gonna happen. I'm gonna get smacked from over there.
Yeah, it's not always about winning at the end of the day. Like I some of my funnest raids I've had are where I die, and the best laughs I've had with my mates in this game are in the utter confusion when we both get smashed, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's only pixels, but if you're taking it sweaty serious, then you're
gonna get frustrated.
Your gameplay is be very different. Yeah. And you also, you get frustrated. You can lose your temper pretty hard at this game if you put a lot of emphasis on keeping it here, because you got to die eventually. No one has 100% survival rate. It's not possible.
I think a lot of people don't realize that the average player in this game probably only has between a 10 and 30% survival rate, and I tell people not to use survival rates as a reference point because it's really dependent on if you play in squads, if you play solo. Now, there was no way I was engaging that guy. He was full sweaty. I think he had like a HK or an M4 or something, and he had bog grenades.
Absolutely everywhere.
And he was pegging them everywhere.
Yeah.
He was very liberal with his bogs.
He's still throwing vogs at me. Could be SA58 there.
Yeah. I've been loving the MP9 lately. I reckon this gun is going to be one of the best guns next wipe. For starting. I think it didn't get utilized very much this patch, but
they're buffing 9 by 19 as well.
Yep. With PSO or rip rounds, man. God, you can do some damage with that thing.
Build up to a full fucking. Oh no.
Just locked, man.
Thanks for made.
Just locked onto you, man.
Right,
every time you peek, it's like doof doof.
This is the last one, but dude, thank you so much for hanging out and being a part of this. It's good fun. I actually really like this concept. I think it's like a good background to a podcast almost.
Yeah, it's good. It's something to focus the conversation on, and a good way to I like it.
So, dude, thanks so much again. Guys, there will be links down below.
I'm calling this the quits.
Slush's YouTube and his Twitch channel. So make sure you go give him a follow. And
I can't get
any
any rhythm.
Cool, dude. I don't know. Maybe I need to warm it up. Maybe I'll consider refilming this. I don't know.
Consider refilming
I'll
it.
think about it. Maybe it's just good to show people that even I have a bad day on labs where I just get smacked no matter what I do. I died to Raiders 3 of those 4 times. The player that I died to in the second last one was a little bit unlucky that my spray must have hit both sides of his head, so I just missed him. What was the other player kill? Oh, the one at the bottom of the fucking staircase. I got no idea with that one. But you can't win them all. You cannot win them all. So sometimes you have good plays, sometimes you have bad plays, and sometimes you have a row of just shitty times. And I spoke about this actually yesterday on stream, where this game is the most RNG game of any game I've ever played, for the fact that you could play perfectly and still get smacked on, and sometimes you literally just act like an idiot and the gods just give you everything. And, you know, and it's like, it's one of those games. So maybe it's a good idea I show you a footage of me just getting smacked, and hopefully whoever was commentating with this video gave some really constructive feedback, you know, like, and, you know, we can take the time to actually say, hey, I would have done this differently, or you just got a little bit dicked on. Maybe whoever's watching this will just say, hey, you shit. So, anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. It was a bit of a brutal one for me. But if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for future content. 3 more episodes to go, so make sure you check out those next 3. There'll be different maps. I do stream on Twitch every day of the week, so go down the link below, give me a follow there. Got any Tarkov questions, feel free to hit me on the live stream or down in the comments below. And lastly, I'll see you next time.